So since the release of Black Ops 6, there's been a lot of talk about the randomness and consistency in the gunplay. Because there's idle sway, there is random non-resetting recoil that I talked about in my previous video. There's a lot of weird stuff when it comes to Black Ops 6, from like jumping and sliding movement speeds, your dive to fire speed not even being listed in game. Despite our gunsmith being considerably simpler than last year's Call of Duty, it honestly feels like most of the meta knowledge is going to come from knowing all these secret little stat changes and things that are kind of frustrating. So for the purposes of this video, I am making a classic Call of Duty gun here that has the least amount of variables possible. We're utilizing the muzzle brake, a gain twist barrel, a precision foregrip, a commando grip, and the target laser attachment. You could obviously make all of this a little better with Gunfighter because then you'd have 3 more attachments, right? But I am talking about this in the context of using Perk Greed because I do think Perk Greed is better. Obviously, if you put on 3 more attachments, you'll have 3 more bonuses. So that's up to you. But I wanted to break it down to its bare essentials, so whether you're using Gunfighter or not, you can follow with my train of thinking here. So I'm gonna hop into the firing range real fast here and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So because of this build, we have the idle sway foregrip, the precision foregrip, which helps with our horizontal recoil, which is the most difficult to control. It also is going to help us with idle sway. We also have the target laser, which gives us perfect idle sway upon aiming down sight. So if your center dot is on an enemy's head and you aim down sight, your sight will be on that enemy's head. Now, we also have the gain twist barrel. The way bullet velocity in this game works is that up close you have hit scan, it's absolutely instant, but at a distance you do have bullet velocity, you actually do have travel time. So right here, that's instant. That's not just fast, it's technically instant. It is a hit scan range, but at a distance you can tell there's a travel time with the bullet. If you use a gain twist barrel, however, you have such crazy bullet velocity that the game just never really gives you the hit scan end range at a range that you would ever notice. So essentially, it pushes out where your hit scan ends so far that on most maps, you'll never even notice. So that's at 100 meters. At 100 meters, as you can see, there is no delay with my bullet hitting the target. This is a hit scan gun so far past my effective range, it's not even really worth doing, but the purpose of this is to make it a classic Call of Duty gun where you aren't really ever worrying about bullet velocity or idle sway or random recoil. And like you guys maybe saw in my last video, where I had the muzzle brake shown off as an actually worthwhile attachment, which a lot of YouTubers said it wasn't, we can see that like with the muzzle brake, our recoil will automatically reset just as fast as humanly possible. Our recoil pattern is like straight up for its first like 12, 13 rounds before we veer off to the side. Now, unfortunately with this build, you're not gonna have a suppressor or extended mags or an optic, which is why I picked the Krig C, because I think the Krig C has nice iron sights and I think its 30 round mag is fine with its fire rate. You're not gonna be burning through ammo too often. But the thing is that when you have a gun that just doesn't have any idle sway or bullet travel time, and the recoil resets immediately, so you don't have to worry about activating the second stage of recoil and then accidentally still being in the second stage of recoil when you go to refire. This helps you take on multiple targets. It should make you more confident fighting distant opponents. Basically, if somebody's across the longest line of sight on Vault or directly in your face, this build is going to help you out a lot, which is why we use the Commando Rear Grip. The Commando Rear Grip increases both our aim down sight speed and our sprint to fire speed, so we can sprint and fire a lot sooner than we would normally. Obviously, you can use a specialized grip if you'd rather use assault or quick draw grip, depending on your playstyle, but I use the one that gives you both sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, so that we're just a bit more versatile when it comes to coming out of sprint, snapping on a target, and firing. Because the goal with this is to just reduce the amount of essentially random bullshit in the game. Now with Gunfighter, of course, I would recommend a couple other attachments. Aim walking movement speed and flinch resistance with the combat stock. I'd recommend extended mags. And just to make the gun feel that much more accurate, we could throw on a laser, a red dot sight, so that we can actually see our targets a bit better, even at longer ranges. This gun is an absolute monster. My bad accuracy aside, my controller kind of has thick built-in dead zones, which I don't exactly love, but that's fine. Kind of fucking seamless. Okay, so here we are in Nuketown, and of course, like, not a very long-range map. Most of what we've added to this gun might not be incredibly noticeable on this map because of our general range of engagement, but we still have the peace of mind of knowing that nothing random is going to be happening with our gun in any of the gunfights we get into.
We've taken the lead. Stay on top.
It's kind of scary, actually, just how good this feels to use. It does feel like using a classic Call of Duty weapon. I got sniped there.
We've claimed the advantage. Now hold it.
Oh, I got somebody with that Simtex, okay. Ooh, and that's what I'm talking about right there.
You're falling behind.
Oh, that's a bad guy. His name was against the American flag there, so I just did not see the red. Oh, that's a... Now he blended in with the fence. Am I just blind? Ooh, oh, just a little bad. Why am I getting shot from the... They don't have a suppressor, so they're probably going to be predicting this. Nope, she thought I was going around the back. And I'm going to die, because I'm reloading. This guy just kind of stumbles into my line of sight. He probably thinks I'm very bad, because he kind of stumbles into my line of sight and either is blended into the background or has caught me reloading. So he probably just thinks that I'm just staring at him, right? Like, that's got to be his only, like... His only conclusion is that I'm just abysmal.
Hold the line, Crimson.
Which is only partially true sometimes. Thank God. I'll take joining a game late on Nuketown TDM, first game of the day, and leading. I'll take it. Just as a reminder of what the attachments are, in case it's been longer in your timeline than it is in mine. Muzzle brake, gain twist barrel, precision foregrip, commando grip, target laser. Are these attachments going to be useful in every engagement? No. But this seeks to remove when bullet velocity, aim down sight time, sprint to fire time, idle sway, horizontal recoil, or your kick reset speed loses you a gunfight. Those gunfights happen, and I think most of the gunfights people get into where they're like, how did I lose that? How did I miss? How did my shots miss and his didn't? I think that comes from those little secret things in the background of the game fucking with your gun. I will also say, to make the gun more consistent, running dexterity so you get reduced weapon motion when you're doing your jumping, your sliding, and your diving will make the game feel even better. And as a final side note, you also get improved aim walking steadiness with the target laser, which is really great because that means that when you're strafing in a gunfight, so if you like throw on gunfighter and use an infiltrator stock, your sights will bob around less, and that's what we're trying to make. We're trying to make that classic COD feel where your guns felt consistent and didn't feel like Call of Duty was trying just a wee bit too hard to be realistic. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you when I see you. Bye.